I'm excited for this round. So what I'm going to do every day now is I'm going to shut the heat lamp off because it's getting in the 90s, upper 80s every day. So they don't need that on. So I'm only going to have that on at night because it's been getting down in the 60s at night. So that's all I'm going to do for these. So we were off to a good start, I thought. We found 2 dead. I think that's what we found last year too, is 2 dead right away. Hopefully that's it.
Hi everyone! So this video has been a couple days in the making. Yesterday we got those baby chicks. This morning we checked on them, and now we are in the late afternoon and I'm headed out again. I'm gonna just peek on them real quick, but then I'm headed to the garden. Moving. Looking good. So I'm headed to the garden today with a particular task in mind. We have just been busy. It's harvest season. I bought those peaches, so I had peaches to can. I made peach skin jelly, and what else did I do? I pulled out most of our cabbage the other day. Went ahead and harvested. You can tell it's almost all gone now. So we made sauerkraut, and then I took pretty much all the other single heads. There's one that wasn't quite done. It was shaded under another one. But there was one that wasn't quite ready. But the rest of it, I chopped it up and threw it in the freezer so I can use it for stir fries and soups and things this winter. And then the ones that are left are the double heads. I might end up pulling them. These are kind of like the second harvest. And if I pull them, it'll be because I want to plant beans in here. But my garlic is so ready to be pulled. I'm pulling it today. And then we'll have this spot open for more green beans. So you want to harvest garlic when usually like the third leaf is about to turn brown or is turning brown. One of the problems is though, after the first leaf towards the bottom dies, it almost starts disintegrating so fast that if you're not watching, you miss it. And we have been super busy. So what I'm going to tell you is a lot of these, at least half of this garlic is already gone. So we need to get it pulled, and I'm gonna try something I've never really tried before. So some of you guys were teasing me because to keep track of which garlic was which, I brought it out in paper bags with the name of the garlic on it, and then I just didn't have a time to put stakes in and things right away. So I threw the bags over these posts in each row. Like this one right here. This bag is still pretty usable. So I'm going to, oh, this one is actually ripped, of course. I'm going to actually use this bag to put this variety of garlic in, which this one, oh, this was the champagne. We don't actually know the name of it, so we called it champagne garlic. I'm going to put those in here. So they're kind of labeled by variety a little bit. So believe it or not, I don't want these raspberries right here. I don't have gloves on, so I don't really want to try to pick them, but maybe, ow! Don't do this. Ouch. There we go. Alright, so I definitely should have pulled some of these sooner, because some are so dead that I'm kind of breaking them. See this? Not great. My summer heroes have arrived. Come on in, boys. Did I plant dill here last year? Like, for how much dill is here? It feels like I must have just put some seed there, but I really don't think I did. I don't know. It looks so good. I'm hoping it flowers soon, because it kind of is a pain if I want to plant beans there. Is that a marigold? Look at that. Apparently my vegetable garden wants to grow flowers. Be nice if it grew fruit too. My beautiful fruit trees that we put in here. They take up a lot of room considering they grow no fruit. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Get into the bigger varieties. So exciting. These are the Medici, I think. Oh yeah. I think that means our German is the next one. I hope that one's nice and big too. I've got one row left. This is the one I'm most excited for, so I left it to the end because these were our biggest bulbs last year. This is the German Extra Hardy. We planted on October 25th, I believe. And we planted 3/4 of a pound, so we'll see how much we get out of it. Can you see this? There's something in my mouth. There's a huge clumps of dirt on them, but some of these are gigantic. Oh. Oh my gosh. Look at that. I think, dare I say, our German Extra Hardy looks bigger than last year. Some of the other ones, we were told the champagne's really hard to store for replanting, so I'm just happy we got some off of that. And some of the other varieties were smaller, but we had more of it. So this year, I think a lot of what we're gonna do is try to use up some of those smaller varieties, and I do like having more than one variety planted in case something just were to happen to one. But I think I'm going to use up a lot of the smaller garlic, save a lot of this bigger stuff for seed, so in the future we're having a lot more big garlic cloves than these smaller ones. Get some of these weeds out. I accidentally pulled the marigold. Oops. The wild rose is still in there, and those are like one of my favorite things that grow wild. In fact, I think it was last year one popped up just on the edge between our driveway and the road, and I tried to get in the gravel, and I tried to convince Matt to dig it up so I could plant it, and he was like, we're not digging it up, it's not in our yard. And I'm like, but it's right there. So I'm excited to see one growing here, even if it's not where I would put it. Maybe we'll dig it up, we'll put it somewhere else. But we'll have to weed here. I'm gonna bring this all up, and then I'll catch back with you when I'm inside, hopefully after I've had some water. So I'm back, I'm inside. It's just later in the evening. We have had a busy day, ran off with the kids some places, and back home, finally got the garlic all on the drying rack. You guys, this was like one of the best investments I think I made, because we did all those herbs a few weeks ago, and I finally cleaned them up today so that I could do this. One of the kids helped me get them all jarred up, and then we got all the garlic on here, and it is just awesome. I have it separated by variety on shelf, and I use this really sophisticated method for keeping track of each kind. It's called a Post-it note, and I just write on there what it is and kind of stick it under some of the garlic. So I'm going to let these dry for a little bit, and then if you remember watching last year's video, I was playing around with braiding them, and I'm going to get this wrong. I think the soft necks are meant for braiding and the hard necks are not. Sound about right? But I actually really liked the way they looked tied up. So my plan is to tie all of them up this year that I can. The Inchalom was the one we had last year, kind of with the defects, like the second garlic sprouting at the top. And I was told that these do not store well. So what I did last year is these were the ones that I picked apart and used first. I did have probably a good basketful, actually it is a basketful because I brought it in the house, of ones that I wasn't sure what variety they were. They just weren't quite in the row, or I just wasn't sure about them. So those are in the house, and we'll use those first. And I think what I'm going to do this year is cut and store what I want to plant, at least the amount I planted this last year. And then everything else I'm going to tie up, rather than having to tie it up and just cut it for planting, right? So that's what I'm thinking, but we will see. We'll see how soon it is till I get to these and get them tied up. But for now, I'm really excited about our gigantic garlic harvest. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm glad you got to see me again. Bye!